everybody, welcome to my bathroom. This is the only place in my house with decent lighting, so here we are. But thank you for checking out my first video, and today we're going to talk about the Flint water crisis. And not just how it's causing irreparable damage to the people and children of the city of Flint, but I really want to talk about how and why it's happening, because I feel like that's how we can really make a difference for, future situations. Because things like Flint, as terrible as the situation is, it is the festering wound on the infected body of our political system, and we have to kill the infection if we really want to make a difference. So I want to open this conversation up with a quote that I heard from Bill Maher, and I think it's totally perfect to describe this situation and so many other situations that make no fucking sense. So anyway, here it goes. The question is not why today's politicians suck more than ever, it's who they're sucking more than ever. So our goal in our little conversation today is to find out who's sucking who when it comes to the Flint water crisis. So here we go. We're just gonna jump right in and start at the point in time where Flint needs money. So we're going to talk about why they need money in a minute, but either way, they need money. So Governor Snyder appoints Ed Kurtz to be his emergency manager for the city. He's supposed to basically go in and see how the city of Flint can make and save more money. He chooses Jerry Ambrose to be his chief financial officer. One of their ideas is maybe we can stop buying water from Detroit, use the Flint River, and save money that way. But of course, they have to figure out if that's even a viable option. So Ed Kurtz meets with the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, and they determine in that meeting that they absolutely cannot use the Flint River as a water source because it's not safe at all. And so, they refuse that idea, and it's done, it's over with. Fast forward to 16 months later, the same water source that was just previously deemed to be not safe and not fit to be used for the water source for a whole city is miraculously given the green light to be used as a water source for Flint. So how did that happen? Well, it's pretty easy. The Office of Governor Rick Snyder really just reverse their decision. Simple as that. And keep in mind, at this point in time in the whole timeline, everyone already knows that the water is dangerous and not safe. So it's not like they didn't know. They definitely knew. So why would you choose to do that just to save a proposed $1 to $2 million a year, which really isn't even that much? But anyway, the reason that they're so strapped for cash is because Snyder has been in office for approximately 5 years. As soon as he got elected into office, pretty much immediately, he enacted some corporate tax cuts to the tune of about $1.7 billion with a B dollars per year, and raised taxes on a lot of the individuals to the tune of about $900 million a year. So we're losing $1.7 billion. Gaining $900 million, still need to find $800 million somewhere, right? So that's why everyone's scrambling around to save money. If these tax cuts had not taken place, then the state of Michigan would have approximately $8.5 billion, again with the B, more dollars than they have now, which would definitely be enough for the proposed $96 million it would take to fix the water crisis in Flint. So why would you do that? Like, why would you knowingly lose all that money for your state for no good reason? Well, there's a good reason, and that's because what's the one thing politicians need to get elected into office? I'll let you think for a second. And the answer is lots and lots of money, and they need that for their campaign and their commercials and like all these things they're doing. So where are they getting that money? Unless they're Bernie Sanders, they're getting it from giant corporations. And so if a corporation gives someone a bunch of money to get elected into office, and then they do get elected into office, don't you think they're going to want something back? They definitely are going to want something back, and that thing is usually tax cuts. So that's kind of how it happens all the time. Anytime something happens that makes no fucking sense at all, it's because somebody's got to get paid back for a donation that they made, is really what it is. So how can we change this from happening? How can we take this option off the table? Because as long as this option's on the table, it's always going to be the option taken because it's a killer investment. No matter how much they give to these politicians, they're getting way more back in tax cuts. So corporations are all about the numbers, man. There's no way they're not going to choose that. So we have to take the option off the table, aka make it not legal anymore. So how is that going to happen? How is it starting to happen? State by state, progress is actually being made. There's a couple organizations that are doing great work to try to get these, giant corporate donations not be a part of our political system. They are represent.us and wolf-pac.com. I'll link them both below, of course. You go sign up on both of them. It's super easy. It's just like signing one of those, petitions that people sign all the time, except it's going to add you to a list. It'll email you when there's times you can volunteer in your state. It'll let you know things that you can do to make a difference, because a difference is being made. progress is being made, and I really feel like this is a change that we can see come to fruition within our generation's lifetime. A lot of people like to think, oh, the system is too messed up, there's nothing we can do, everything's already fixed. People just, want to say that so that they feel no responsibility to, be a part of making a difference. And if you really feel that way, you might as well drive your car into a fucking tree and off yourself right now. Because I don't really see the purpose of continuing on if you don't feel that, changes can be made and that you could potentially be a part of making those changes. So that's how I personally like to operate. So hopefully you guys do too, and you'll go sign up and see what you can do to make a difference, because this is the root of the problem. This is the disease. Is, our politicians being bought and paid for by big corporations who want those favors returned. So, if we remove this option from the table, then the people who are in our government can actually focus on what they're supposed to be doing and not their first and usually only priority of returning favors to their donors. So I really feel like this is, the key that unlocks a lot of solutions. So if we can all, take action, learn more about this, become a part of the solution, I really think a difference can be made. And just keep in mind, whenever some shit goes down that makes no fucking sense when it comes to the government, follow the money. That's where you're going to find your answer, because it's not why they suck, it's who they're sucking. So anyway, until next time.